ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. It's early Saturday morning. We got some important news. Okay, you know that the Syrian war, that the Assad government forces in Russia, if, and I stated this numerous times in the last few videos, if Turkey does not enter this war, that means Russia and Assad's government forces will, in fact, eventually take Idlib. They're moving at a quick pace. Now, Erdogan with Turkey drew the line in the sand in parts of Idlib. It's the last stronghold of the rebels. Okay. You know, some people say, well, why is Turkey there? Well, the best way I can describe it, from what I understand in studying this war indefinitely, is that Turkey's security interest is at a critical point with all these refugees in their country that they accepted and circling their border trying to get in. So it's the national security, Erdogan says, that he has a vested interest in what happens. Now, for those that don't quite understand this war, and it's like a bowl of spaghetti. I mean, I'm telling you, Turkey is on the rebel side, who's fighting Assad government forces and Russia's allied Assad government forces. The rebels have lost everything pretty much, except Idlib. Now, Russia and Assad forces are on the verge of victory if, in fact, Erdogan lets them cross a line in the sand that he drawn and does not enter this war. Okay, I got a video that's going to go over some things. The rebels just shot down another government helicopter, and it does show some signs of some uneasy signs on this video, so I warn you if you have children and such like that, I give you that warning. Turkey is the make or break of this civil war. It all lies in Erdogan's hands, basically. If in fact Erdogan does not enter this war, Turkey, then Russia would win its war backing the Assad forces, and the war would be over. And I've been telling you all that from the get-go, that that's what's at stake here. Now, I'm not telling you whose side to be on. But Turkey has, and I stated this before, has a modernized army. They're a force to be reckoned with. They're no superpower by any stretch of imaginations, but they do have a modernized army that's got modern equipment and modern technology. Now, here's the situation that you got to look at. If Erdogan, Turkey, enters the war, now the burden falls not on Turkey no more, but on Russia, if Russia is going to fight back the Turkish forces. Now, if that happens, Turkey is a NATO ally, and the creed motto of the NATO allies, if one is in distress in war, gets attacked, all NATO gets attacked. And that's the situation that is at hand. Now, Turkey could enter this war, and I can understand how Erdogan says he's got a vested interest with all the stress that his country's coming under with these refugees that he's allowed in and trying to get in. It's causing strain on the Turkish economy. It's causing strain on the Turkish people, and I can somewhat see how Erdogan says it's a national security. Well, I can see it, to be honest. I can see it. That was a poor choice of words. But I got a video, and Erdogan is giving them to the end of the month to stop their assault against Idlib. Now, I mind you that this war has been seen a lot of bombings and attacks that killed a lot of civilians. A lot of civilians, not to sound redundant. So we'll see. I'm going to keep you posted like I told you I would. This is just out. So it's a waiting game until the end of the month to see if, in fact, Erdogan enters this war against Assad. And then what happens after that point, we would have to keep following. Now, some scholars say Isaiah 17:1, the burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away and being in ruin to sleep. I've gone over that scripture numerous times. And I'm not going to put it up because I've put it up on the screen so many times. But most of y'all already know that. And I know you know that. And we know that scripture is yet to be fulfilled. So it's a waiting game. As I get the information, I'm going to give it to my subscribers. But I got a video. Curtis, appreciation goes and thanks goes to Al Jazeera for making this video. Al Jazeera seems to be right spot on their reporting most of the time. So and they got a lot of people on the ground in Syria that's able to get this video footage. But here comes a very important video. I ask you to watch it and you'll understand better what's going on. You can see it with your eyes and your ears what's happening. It all falls on Idlib. And it all falls on Erdogan if this war is going to be won. At the end of the month, if Erdogan does not enter this war, then you will most likely see the fall of Idlib if, in fact, Turkey does not enter this war. But with that said, I gave you the information like I told you I would. And, hey, I asked you to watch the video. You're listening and watching another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. We love you. Thank you. Here comes the video.
This is the moment another Syrian military helicopter shot down in Aleppo province. None of its crew survived. They were taking part in a military operation to recapture opposition-held areas on the outskirts of Aleppo city. It's the second helicopter downed by rebels in the same area this week. Fierce fighting continues in neighboring Idlib province. It's a critical time for the rebels who are constantly retreating after losing ground. Idlib is their last stronghold. If they are defeated here, the war will be over. Many Syrians are continuing to flee their homes. This woman has been forced from the countryside of Aleppo province. She feels abandoned by everyone.
It's very cold and no one seems to care about what's happening to us. The situation is more than tragic. No one is helping look at the people leaving. I don't know of any safe area where I can take my family.
Almost 150,000 refugees have fled towards the border with Turkey in the last 4 days, joining more than 1 million forced from their homes since the start of the Syrian army's offensive in Idlib last April. Ahmed Miglaj has been forced to flee his village of Jabal al-Zawiya, as well as refugee camps at least 4 times over the last few months.
I recently moved with my family to the city of Binish thinking it would be safe and far from the fighting. Then the Syrian army stepped up its offensive a week ago. We packed and left. I don't know where to go next. I feel like my next move will be towards the unknown.
As the humanitarian crisis deepens, Turkey is deploying more troops into Idlib. Ankara accuses Damascus of violating the terms of a ceasefire agreement that was reached 2 years ago between Turkey, Iran and Russia. The deal established safe zones and implemented a ceasefire, but violence never stopped. The Syrian army seems determined to defeat the rebels and continue its advance towards the city of Idlib. That's a red line for Turkey. It's ramped up its military presence in Idlib and has given the Syrian army until the end of this month to pull out behind Turkish observation posts or face a tougher response. Hashim Al-Barra, Al Jazeera, Cilvigizu on Turkey's border with Syria.